Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaimMD here to do another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Moveset video guide on how to use Tangrowth, another highly requested Pokemon. I actually personally really like this Pokemon. It's tanked so many moves over the years for me, and even though it got nerfed a bit because there's no heavy duty boots in this game, there's no assault vest in this game, and there's no hidden power in this game, it's still a really formidable physical wall that has landed itself in the OU tier, being able to take on the likes of Mamoswine and Weavile, Pokemon that it's still weak to. It could still beat them 1v1, as well as still taking hits from Infernape if need be, Gliscor, Garchomp, Feraligatr, and the list just goes on and on. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you let me know by leaving a like. Also, leave a suggestion of the next Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, or a set of Pokemon you'd like to see me cover. Remember, I've done a lot of these so far, so make sure you check on the channel to see if I've already covered the Pokemon. And lastly, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm on my way to 300k. That is my end of the year goal. I upload 2 to 3 Pokemon videos a day. You got a Wi-Fi battle and a showdown live going up later today as well. And yeah, let's just get right into this moveset guide. So as I mentioned, this week is really busy for me. Next week might even be really busy for me too. So you're going to be getting it on Showdown for now as opposed to my slides. But the most standard set of Tangrowth is going to be the physically defensive wall. As I mentioned before, it checks a plethora of Pokemon. Azumarill, Breloom, and Crawdaunt are probably the big 3 that you check outside of Garchomp, right, in the OU tier. Basically, this Pokemon's role is to tank physical hits from physical attackers and deal with them accordingly. So max HP, max defense, relaxed nature just because you're going to be running a mix of the Sludge Bomb plus Knockoff plus Giga Drain, so you have physical and special attacks, so you don't want to lower your attack stat. And then leftovers for the longevity. I want to note a few things. I do have versions that also have other moves that this Pokemon can run too, and we'll be showing that in a sec. But Giga Drain is your most important move. It's basically your recovery move, but also dealing damage at the same time, being able to deal with Rotoms, being able to deal with Feraligatrs, and getting yourself out of range of other attacks from them. Regenerator is very important too, because every single time this Pokemon switches, it restores 1/3 of its maximum HP. So even if Tangrowth is at 1 HP, as long as you switch out and come back in, it will have more HP after. Regenerator is probably one of the best abilities in the game across all generations, period. So Giga Drain is there. Sludge Bomb is really important because there's also one really key Pokemon this Pokemon has to take down. I already mentioned it before, but it's Breloom. And you want to be able to deal with Breloom, right? So you need Sludge Bomb. There's no hidden power ice. Sludge Bomb is also pretty cool because you get some really nice damage off on Clefable, but also being able to poison something like a Dragonite or an Infernape upon switching, or a Garchomp. Basically anything that can come in on you that you could potentially poison, and also allowing you to beat other Tangrowth 1v1 is very important. That 30% chance to poison can go a long way. Knockoff is nice because you're one of the few Pokemon that still has access to Knockoff right now. You can get rid of the opponent's item. It also gives you a way of hitting Pokemon like Gengar and Latios and Alakazam for a lot of damage. You don't necessarily take hits from them, but you do a lot of damage if they want to try and switch into you. And then Sleep Powder is your last move. Sleep Powder just means, you can put someone to sleep, right? That's not a grass type or something with overcoat, so it can make a threat like Dragonette's Dragonite, or as long as it's a Lumberry, or as long as it doesn't have a Lumberry, or you can even break the Lumberry on Dragonette's Dragonite. That way when they go for Outrage, you do live +1 Outrage, and you can put them to sleep after. So Sleep Powder is just great for neutralizing opponents. Of course, if you don't want to run Sleep Powder, you can also run Stun Spore. Stun Spore is also pretty good when paired with Hex Gengar. This Mon, having that 75% chance to paralyze the opponent goes a long way. Again, this Pokemon allows entry for certain Pokemon like Heatran, Infernape, Latios might want to come in on you, Gengar even if they're a little bit crazy. So being able to paralyze them, even Scizor specifically, because you do live special defensive Scizor's hits easily, and you can Stun Spore them as they try and come in, as well as knocking them off, making your Hex Gengar, your Specs Hex Gengar that much more of a threat, or your Choice Specs Latios that much more of a threat. Physically defensive again. And then the last one, well, I have this, but besides these, you could also run Leech Seed if you want to as well. Leech Seed can be cool for Pokemon like Blissey coming in. You gain so much recovery and they can't Toxic you because they don't have access to Toxic at the moment. So getting all that recovery back, but also something like Heatran coming in, and not only have you already knocked off its leftovers, but maybe you hit it with Leech Seed upon switching, it's just getting worn down. It allows you to beat Pokemon that otherwise could potentially beat you 1v1. So that's really nice. And lastly, we do have Earthquake as an option too. Earthquake allows you to mainly hit Heatran for a solid 2-hit KO. It's also good for Pokemon like Jirachi and Lucario, which is a pretty big one too, because you do live +2 close combat from Lucario, and after the defense drop, you can knock it out with the Earthquake after Stealth Rock as well. So it just allows Tangrowth to deal with more Pokemon, like physical Pokemon like Lucario, but also Pokemon that otherwise would wall it like Heatran. Another option on this physically defensive Tangrowth set, because they should always be relaxed in my opinion, but another option is no item. Now, the reason you run no item is because you can tank hits better from Choice Band Crawdaunt. Choice Band Crawdaunt typically goes for knockoff. It is weaker, it's 65 base power if you don't have an item, allowing you to easily check it. And this is better, I think, on stall teams specifically, just because stall teams have a lot to worry about in this metagame, right? There's so much power in this metagame. Choice Band, Breloom, Choice Band, Crawdaunt, even Mixed Crawdaunt too, which is something entirely that we have to talk about too when it comes to Tangrowth. But yeah, just having no item means that initial knockoff does less, so you can actually switch in safely to it initially, even with Stealth Rock or Spike up, allowing Tangrowth to comfortably check a Pokemon it's supposed to. However, if you do see Life Orb on Crawdaunt as it goes for knockoff on you, I just want you to be warned that that Crawdaunt might be a mixed Crawdaunt with Sludge Bomb, which means that knockoff and the Sludge Bomb knocks you out. So in that case, you should switch and at least scout for Sludge Bomb. If you can go out to something comfortably for Sludge Bomb, I would if I were you. So that's the physically defensive one. That's just pretty standard. Other options are like maybe Protect as well, just to scout what Pokemon want to go for. But besides that, there's not really too much else that Tangrowth likes to run in that side. Now, Choice Specs is a little bit of an odd play for Tangrowth, but it's actually pretty cool because it has a decent speed tier, right? I know base 50 might be like, what? That's stupid. However, when you max invest in base 50, and I'm going to explain this because every single time I explain this, people are like, why would you put speed on a bulky Pokemon? I'm going to explain right now, so make sure you listen, alright? Please make sure you listen. So, Tangrowth's base 50 speed tier has a few key Pokemon that it does outspeed in the metagame. I'm going to actually go through them as well. Azumarill. You either speed tie with them or you outspeed them, which is pretty important if Azumarill tries to belly drum up in front of you or has already belly drummed and it tries to knock you out with +6 play rough. You can outspeed it and knock it out with Giga Drain, or at least speed tie with it at worst. Other mons include Clefable. You're faster than that. You're faster or speed tie with offensive Donphan, which is pretty nice because then you don't get knocked off there. Defensive Empoleon is another one. Other options are also opposing Tangrowth, which is pretty big too, and then some defensive variants of Tyranitar. So you're able to outspeed those, as well as Skarmory and Scizor. And Skarmory and Scizor are big ones because Skarmory gets 2-hit KO'd by Focus Blast. So if it tries and switches on you and you hit 2 Focus Blasts, I know, crazy, right, if you actually hit. But if you do hit 2 Focus Blasts, you do a ton of damage. And Scizor as well, if it's not fully special defensive and Stealth Rock are up, you 2-hit KO with Specs Focus Blast as well. And the best thing you can do is U-turn, which won't even kill you just because Tangrowth is incredibly bulky. So those are just like some key speed tiers that this Pokemon can outspeed, or at least speed tie with, which can allow Specs Tangrowth to do a little bit more work. It's a niche set, but it's fun, and I've used it quite a bit. And those Sludge Bombs on resisted Pokemon are like even those Leaf Storms, like Latios takes like 40% plus from Leaf Storm. It's crazy. So you just get so much damage off on Pokemon that would otherwise resist you. Now, Tangrowth does have access to Chlorophyll, and Chlorophyll does double its speed in the Sun, allowing Tangrowth to potentially be a Chlorophyll Sun Sweeper. Now, not the best one because I think Victory Bell, I think Venusaur can potentially do it better. However, Tangrowth does have something that neither Victory Bell nor Venusaur does have, and that's Focus Blast. So being able to growth, raising your special attack by +2 in the Sun. Obviously with this one you want to pair it with Pokemon like either Torkoal or Ninetales that can get up the Sun with Drought, with Heat Rocks, right? Other Pokemon that are great in the Sun as well. Typhlosion, Charizard are great in the Sun. Victory Bell, Venusaur option in the Sun as well. And say your Arcanine too, offensively they're really nice. But the cool thing over this is that you can put something to sleep, right? So let's say Scizor comes in after you've growth. You can go for Sleep Powder. If you put it to sleep, if it's not fully specially defensive Scizor, +2 Focus Blast knocks it out. And even if it is fully special defensive Scizor, I'm talking about max HP, max special defense, careful nature, you do 80 to, I believe, is it 80 to 90? I think it's 80 to like 92% with Focus Blast at +2, which means that after Stealth Rock, you actually have a 50% chance to KO that. I mean, not coupling in your accuracy, right? So it's pretty cool. And Sleep Powder is nice because, again, you can deal with Pokemon that would otherwise wall you, right? If you put a Latios to sleep, you are faster at +2. You're faster than everything in the OU tier at +2 with +2 speed. And Focus Blast, obviously, not only letting you hit Scizor, but, you know, Skarm and Heatran as well. And that Solar Beam, even though it's resisted, like +2, you're doing so much Latios. You're 2 KOing Latios with +2 Solar Beam. Like, and as long as you hit a sleep powder, you have opportunities to set up as well. But again, this mon, not the strongest. You don't have to run sleep powder, you can run sludge bomb, but I think that out of all the sets I've used and all the sets I've faced, this is probably the best one with Tangrowth. But it is called Fun and Sun for a reason. It's a little bit more memey. And speaking of memey, we have our last set, which is Swords Dance Tangrowth. Now we're going Jolly Nature. Why the hell are we going Jolly Nature? Some pretty big speed tiers that Tangrowth does outspeed with a Jolly Nature are going to be Adamant Azumarill and Adamant Crawdaunt. Something you could just outspeed them both and deal with them with Power Whip. Power Whip is pretty cool too because at +2 you're knocking out Blissey with the Swords Dance Life Orb boost, which is pretty nice. You have Earthquake for the steals, and then knockoff can deal with Latios. This is not the greatest set, for sure. In fact, Venusaur can do this better, but it doesn't have Regenerator. And Pokemon like, well, Venusaur could at a point do this better, but it also doesn't have the physical defense that Tangrowth has. And yeah, it's just a fun little set. I mean, Victory Bell could do it too, but again, it doesn't have the defenses. So this can be cool with Regenerator. Maybe if you want something to be like a little breaker as well, just to show you a damage calc. Just because, you know, I might as well show you guys a few things, right? So we have Tangrowth right here. Let's actually just import this set real quick, just so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But even Pokemon like Scizor don't want to take this hit eventually, right? So look, we have right here, we go to Tangrowth and we go to Special Defensive Scizor. That's just standard Scizor. As you can see, +2, you're doing 68 to 80%, right? So you get off some damage to Scizor. This is U-turn from Scizor, by the way, from no attack Scizor. It's barely gonna 2-KO you after life. Well, it 2-KOs you with Life Orb, but barely, right? So like you're doing this much damage to it. You pair this thing with a Specs Latios, for instance, and you're good to go, right? You just click Draco Meteor the rest of the game, Pokemon die. So just a fun little lure set if you want to use it. But that's basically all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, if you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Also, if you want to pick up Pokemon Legends Arceus and you live in the US, or maybe you want to pick up Pokemon BDSP or anything from Best Buy, you can use my affiliate links. Those links are down below. You do help me out if you order any of the games via my link. Appreciate you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.